There we are. Hi there, Gabrielle.
Hi, Aria.
Nice to see you.
You,
Do I have your permission to record the Skype interview? Do I have your permission?
you do, yeah.
Good. And do I have your consent to upload this interview onto a website? The website will have a password and will be viewable by my grad studies associates and other interviewees.
Absolutely. Happy to have.
Thank you. So I'm doing my final project at NAU, Northern Arizona University. It's Master of Arts in Rhetorical Writing and Digital Media. I chose an interdisciplinary focus, a study of the documentary Cowspiracy, its effectiveness as a model for behavioral change toward environmental sustainability and a media literacy tool. Are you ready to start the questions?
Sure.
Okay, so the first question was, tell me about yourself.
Well, my name is Gabrielle Lewis, and I am Canadian, but I live in Ashland, Missouri, and I've been here for 20 years. And I'm a full-time. I work full-time. I'm a part-time student, and I've got 3 children, and busy life. I do really work very hard to feed my family very healthy meals. We try and prepare ahead of time. I do meal planning and really offer very healthy snacks to my children. We live a very healthy lifestyle.
That's great. And you mentioned your degree is a communications degree, right, that you're working on?
Yes, I am going for my undergraduate or bachelor's of science in communication. I'm really enjoying that. I got 3.98 GPA, so I'm really enjoying it and very excited and really looking forward to seeing what I can offer my employer with my degree. And I think they're actually trying to manipulate some positions just to keep me so that they don't in the position that I'm at now, I'm very limited. And so they know that if they don't actually try and develop a position for me, that they're going to lose me as an employee. And I've got seniority there, and I'm really good at my job. So I know that they want to try and keep me. It's exciting to see how that's going to develop in my future career as well.
Absolutely. Do you know when you'll be done? Your studies?
In 2 years. I'll be done in 2000. Well, actually, December 2017, I should start my last courses and then be finished up in early 2018.
Glorious. It's very
right
exciting.
around the corner.
Yeah, it goes fast. It does. So I'm going to ask you, what did you think of the film Cowspiracy?
I really thought it was incredibly enlightening. I really enjoyed learning something new and something quite serious. You hear a lot for decades, been hearing a lot about fossil fuels and what it's doing to the ozone and El Nino and what it's, how all that is impacted. And we're even witnessing it now, how our earth is changing and how our climate's changing. And, I really thought that the documentary was well done. I thought that, it wasn't all hurrah, hurrah, hurrah about trying to convince me to think otherwise. It was more educational than it was more of a persuasive. Of course, it was persuasive because he wants me to understand that greater, idea, but I didn't feel like it was truly one-sided. I thought that there was a really good dynamic of learning about the industry, why people do, and even interviewing some of the Greenpeace people. Well, no, he couldn't get into Greenpeace, but the other ones that he was trying to interview, and some of the things like, Oceana saying, oh, we have a fishing problem. Well, let's just keep fishing. It makes me gasp. Like, are you kidding? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, why put more gas on fuel on the fire? It doesn't make sense. So, yeah, it was really, I thought, quite eye-opening, and I couldn't wait to share it with more people. So, yeah, I thought that it was a really important message to share, absolutely.
I'm really glad that you offered to give me your perspective and that you took the time to watch it. I appreciate that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Did Cowspiracy, or do you think it will influence your attitudes or habits or behaviors?
Well, my habits are actually lean towards, we're really not, we are chicken eaters, and we're a lot of fish, salmon, things like that, but we really don't eat a lot of beef. We don't eat things like that, which I know it's not all restricted to grazing, animals. It also has to do with chickens and, fowl and things like that too, and even the fisheries. I think as a overall lifestyle, I'd probably consider it maybe to implement it a little bit more. It's not totally out of character for me to try. So, I would definitely try. And we've been talking about tofu. I actually really enjoy a vegan restaurant downtown and would love to go, but I never have anyone to go with. So, and it's way out like in another city that I don't frequent often. But so when you go, you kind of want to go with somebody, but yeah, it wouldn't be far-fetched for us to try and change something. I think some of the family would be reluctant, especially my boyfriend, but he's Southern meat potato, type. That's how he was raised. And so, but, he really does enjoy the healthier lifestyle of how I've kind of introduced the cooking. He loves my cooking anyway, so.
That's always good for a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely takes time to change, and I know some of my family members, I've asked them to watch the film, and my father made it 10 minutes through.
I was going to ask how your dad did. Yeah.
I was hoping to interview them, but maybe in the future I can have that conversation, but it might take a little while. Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, is the purpose of the video, or even your purpose, even in asking this, to really reform somebody, or is it more to educate? And if the feedback might not be positive, even if it's coming from your dad, his perception still might be important to add to
Absolutely.
your paper as well, just as an opposing type of opinion.
Yeah, that's a good point, and I'm trying to get a variety of opinions about the documentary, like people coming from all different walks of life, so I can really understand how seeing something like this can influence people coming from different perspectives, for sure. So,
yeah.
As to your question, I think, to be honest, my desire would be to have the whole world coalesce into behavior patterns that would align with environmental sustainability. But, I mean, it takes a while to make behavior change, and it has to come from within that person. They have to make a decision based on their own accord, I think. So I'm really curious about how this process unfolds with people, and that's really what I'm looking in and seeing how it can function as an educational tool, or other kinds of media and education can work as well. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think that's great.
Thanks for asking me that question. I'm like, how do I answer that exactly? That's part of the process in doing this research is we're doing a lot of research through articles and secondary sources as well. And as we write and rewrite, we come to know how to articulate our own opinion about the matter as well, which you'll be seeing as you do your work in your studies.
Right.
I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I thought it was powerful. There was one thing where a gentleman was stating that, a lot of the information is not out there because it's a difficult message to tell somebody that your everyday living and your everyday life patterns are really not that good for you, and it's affecting our entire earth. And so the masses of people that this would affect and have to really truly commit to it are extremely high, and I think that was a very valid point. It's a very difficult message to have out there because of the finances and the revenue driven behind having that to sell and make money off of, like you said, it's just capitalism, it's amazing to me.
Well, you were mentioning you just did a question like that in your studies, right?
Right. Yeah. Yes, about the capitalism and whether we believed in it or not, and I think it's a necessary evil, unfortunately. I think that there's not really a way that you can essentially get around it because there's so many other higher forces that are involved in it. I don't think capitalism as far as Stalin or Mussolini or anything like that is correct, but even if you want to enjoy decent television, you have to join Dish, you have to get into that, and you have to pay for it. Well, they're going to make money off of you in order to do it. So it's kind of like, well, if you want to bring that into your family and into your home, then that's kind of the necessary evil of it all. I don't know if that's the right term, but
I think that economic connections between countries sometimes override political stereotypes as well. And um, I don't want to say the whole system of capitalism is bad, but I think that in the film they do show that people who speak out against the animal agriculture industry, for example, in Brazil, are murdered.
Right.
But in the U.S., they could go up against defamation claims depending on how they present information. So
Right.
I'm also really interested in the best ways to present this message that are effective. And some of the research that I'm doing, I found the Chatham House Studies. It's a British think tank, and they did a 12-country study. I can show it to you later, looking at how to influence behavior change. And they reflect that it really has to come from a governmental platform to make people really, they have to, for example, one of the interviewees that the director talked to was the author of a book called Meatonomics, and he said, well, when you really look at how we've come to this point, for example, to buy a hamburger, we spend a few dollars, but the real cost of creating that is more around $15. So if we had to pay the real cost that it takes, if we took away the subsidies that these big industries get from the government, they probably wouldn't survive. So I think starting to look at it as a systematic way of addressing issues, both through media platforms, education platforms, and also some campaigns to write some letters and get some petitions together to bring attention to the issue. I think, first of all, people need to know about the issue to even have an idea that they want to make changes, and a lot of that information is buried by the power of big organizations who do have a lot of clout with lobbying and media. So that's why I have a difficult time to separating this issue, because the media aspect and the environmental aspect are very, very directly connected, but working through those connections is part of what I'm trying to do in the interview. So I really, really appreciate your questions and perspective. They're fantastic. Which brings me to the question number 4, which is my last one. How can this film or media best be used as an educational tool inside or outside a classroom? Do you have any ideas on that?
Well, I think social networking, I mean, you just have to go to social media, and I think that's going to be the most powerful tool. Blogs, Facebook, Twitter, all of those. I mean, that's going to be the quickest way to meet the masses, you know. I mean, I would start there most definitely before I'd even go to pay for television. It's so inexpensive to do. So, you know, I mean, it's so inexpensive to do, and it is an immediate response. You can ask for responses, put out surveys, just make awareness. You know, public service announcements regarding it, I think, are going to be the key. A lot of PR, you know, things like that. Getting a really effective team together to, you know, start putting it out there, and then trying to recruit others to try and do the same message. So I think that would be a good start.
Fantastic. Well, that's what I've been doing, and bringing it into an educational platform has been a bit challenging, but it's been really exciting. And
have you had a lot of positive feedback in regards to people wanting willingness to watch the video? Or
in my grad studies class, I have one who did watch it and actually interviewed him, and a couple other people who were interested. Part of the problem is they are also heavily weighed down with their own projects right now, so the timing is not really good. Hey, do you want to sit down and spend some time? So it depends on the person and what they're capable of, because like you, a lot of people in my program are juggling full-time work and families and grad studies, and we're all going a little crazy right now. But I think pushing yourself to that limit in a project really can bring out a lot of creative new skills and connections. You know, like just the fact that I had to do this project inspired me to do these interviews, and I've gotten so much from them in so many ways. And you'll get to see the other interviews. I'm almost to the point where I've put them onto YouTube in my own private channel, because it's easier to upload it into websites that are easy to use. And then you can kind of look at a forum. Have you ever looked at TED Talks before?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
So the project is still being developed, but right now I'm working on, if I can make it happen, having all the interviews up and having a transcript or summary of each one and like kind of a gallery of interviews to really show a multiple perspective and how different people approach the same question. So you'll be able to see that really soon, and I'll send it to you when it's ready.
Oh, good. I'll be looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, when I look back on them, it's just like candy. It's like, oh, this idea is brilliant. And I just feel really like I've gotten so much of a richer perspective from doing it. And I love that I have the media aspect right there built into the project. And, you know, people can go back and look at the interviews and decide if how I represent that person is accurate or not. So I'm really excited with this project, and who knows, maybe in your degree you might be doing something similar. If you ever need a volunteer, you've got me.
Absolutely, yes, I might be knocking on your door. The virtual FaceTime.
My virtual door. Yeah. Who knows, travel someday in the future.
You're right.
Yeah. I've got a lot of American friends. Mostly since I've come to Korea, I have so many American friends. More than I did when I lived in Canada. For some reason, I don't have that many Canadian friends here, and it's not something I've really thought, about. But yeah.
I guess in my introduction, I should have mentioned that we were childhood friends.
Some people might be curious. Yeah, the last time we saw each other face to face was
I'd say grade 9.
Okay.
So yeah, probably.
Junior high, middle school. No, high school. No, junior high. Yeah.
Yeah, junior high, because I ended up going to Grand Prairie for high school. So
that's right. You went to the comp.
I went to St. Joe's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, smaller school. I think my mom was just, nervous, wanting to move us, but not into something big like the comp at that time. So we ended up going to St. Joe's. So.
Well, I remember being really excited when you guys moved there. You and your twin sister, Camille, right? And we played sports together. We did volleyball. Did we do basketball too, I think? Yeah.
No, basketball. No, but I remember going to the games and watching you play basketball.
Yeah, and you came to my house and rode horses. And
yeah, we go swim in your pond. Yeah.
Well, we're going to have another chat later to just catch up on all those little things.
Absolutely.
Thanks to social media, we can revive a connection from way back. It's really, really nice.
I'm looking forward to it, yeah.
I'm excited for you and your studies as well.
Well, thank you. I am for you. Are you putting together a big thesis with this, or with all of this information? Is this going to be your thesis?
Well, we don't have a thesis. The final project is like the capstone of our degree. And so, yeah, we have to design research and do a write-up, and then we do a separate project to showcase it, and then we also have a meeting with the administrators at the university through Skype at the end, through a PPT to show them and explain what we've done.
Oh, so, wow.
There's a lot going on, and it'll all wrap up by April 1st, so.
Oh, wow, it's right around the corner. Oh, gosh.
So the beginning and the turnaround time is really fast, and people have come from different points. Some people have been working on it for a while. Lots of really interesting projects going on, and we're all just, it's a whirlwind of getting sections of it done, putting it up for peer review, getting feedback, and then altering what we've done. It's great. I can let you know more about it later on and show you the final result and explain it to you a little bit. I'll probably be doing, I've been doing some follow-up chats with people I've interviewed because they've made some points to me that, make me think about certain things, and I come back and get more of their ideas on it. So I shall be in touch.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Gabrielle. I really appreciate your time, and I will talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
You too.